Hey guys, hello. So this video is gonna be a little bit different actually, because I'm working, and that's always the case. I'm always working. Please excuse how I look, by the way. I ain't do no kind of maintenance, no kind of get cute maintenance. I never have a chance to sit down and record, so I'm gonna do it while I work. So that means this video is gonna be probably super choppy. It's gonna be in a bunch of different backgrounds because I'm gonna do this anytime I have some quiet time. But y'all get a video, and I'm excited about that. And I think that this is gonna be really cool. Today's video, I wanna talk about my testimony, my apartment testimony, how God blessed me. Okay, so I'm so crusty right now, but God told me to just start the video already because I've been trying to do this ever since I moved in, and I moved in on January 31st. It's been months. I'm finally just being obedient, and I'm doing it no matter what the circumstances. So here I am. Let me put y'all right here. I'll just set y'all there while I drive. So since 2022, I want to say 2022, I was living in an apartment. No, I moved into the apartment in 2021 during COVID with my little brother and sister. We moved into a 3-bedroom apartment. It was really beautiful. We got blessed with that. It was a gift from God. It was beautiful. But long story short, it was probably one of the worst decisions we could have made. But we were young. I moved out at 21. My little brother and sister, they were 19. So we weren't ready at all, but we didn't know that. And you're not ready till you get ready. We had to get ready. And the only way to get ready was to go out and do it. So we went out and we did it. Despite what everybody was saying, we weren't ready, blah, blah, blah. They were right. We knew deep down they was right, but we still had to do this for ourselves because, you know, we was just ready for our adult life. We've been struggling our whole life with our parents. And I'm like, I know they did everything they could. They sacrificed a lot for us, and their efforts are definitely appreciated. But it was definitely a struggle still. Like, that doesn't take away from the fact that it was a struggle. For us, you know what I'm saying? We never had our own space. We've never really had anything to ourselves because my mom had 7 kids, and we all, you know, when my beginning story, we all 7 of us shared one bedroom. Yeah, one bedroom. And so it's been like that since I've, you know, been little. I've always shared a room with someone or people or a few people with my sisters. Never had anything, and none of us really did. So we were like, you know what, we finally got our own money. That's back when they was giving out them free $600 checks. We saved them up. We bought cars. We saved up more, got us an apartment. We got an approval, but we only had enough to move in. Them COVID checks stopped eventually. You know what I'm saying? So we struggled really bad paying rent. We struggled really bad keeping up with bills. We struggled really bad, and long story short, we ended up losing it. It was just that young, stupid mistakes as a young person that doesn't know anything, trying to make it in this world, and we lost the apartment. We ended up, actually, we didn't lose it. Like, we could have stayed there. We wasn't gonna be able to afford the rent, so we just ended up not renewing our lease. So when we did that, we didn't have nowhere to go when we decided not to renew our lease. And we had like 3 weeks to find somewhere, like a month, maybe 2 months before we had to find somewhere to live, which is not a lot of time if you know anything about looking for a place to live. We literally had a little bit of time to find somewhere to live when we decided to do this. And not only we decided to do this, one of our older sisters, we all wanted to just not renew our leases at our apartments, and then we would just get a house together. We're all gonna need more space. We want a backyard for the pets, for the dogs, and for the kids to run around. We'll all still be together. We don't have to live with random roommates. So it was a win-win for us. So we like, bet, shouldn't be that hard to find something with all 4 of us. You know, that's 4 incomes, 4 blah, blah, blah. It shouldn't be that bad. Little did we know, it was bad. Like, we didn't get approved for anything. Like, literally, it was no, 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 after no, after no, after no, after no, to the day it came for us to move out. We still had nothing. I mean, we applied to like 5-6 houses within the 2 months, and everybody was like, no, no, and no, and no, and no. And we're just like, bro, like, so where are we supposed to go? I mean, literally, up to the day that we moved out, denied, no, like, literally. So the day we had to move out, we ended up, my sister had like 3 more weeks on her lease. So we went there. We stayed with my sister for the last remaining of her 3 weeks, and we kept on looking, kept on getting denied to the point where it was time for her to go. It was her last day in the apartment, and we still hadn't found a place to go. So we had to buckle up. We had to get us some storage units, and we had to figure out where the F we was about to live. Where was we finna lay our head? We had no idea, you guys. No, I freaking did where we was about to lay our head at. So we all kind of dispersed. Me and my brother, we went to a hotel. We went to hotel rooms because we registered him as an emotional support animal. So clearly, because I can't talk, he needed to help me talk. But anyways, I'm just playing. So he was able to get in anywhere. That wasn't the issue. We just didn't have a place to go. And then my older sister, I don't remember what she did, honestly. I think she went somewhere. Don't matter. I don't know what she did, but she went somewhere. She had somewhere to sleep for a little bit. So, my older sister, I think she ended up getting an apartment. I think she went out and she got approved for an apartment. And then, yeah. So, me and my brother, we stayed living in hotel rooms for a little bit. For like a good month or so, we lived in hotel rooms, different hotel rooms we were staying in. And we finally asked our older sister. There's 6 of us, you guys. Like I said in the beginning, there's 7, I'm sorry, of us. So let me just give them names. So my older sister, I'll call this one Sharon. So now we're moving in with a new older sister. This is a new older sister that I'm introducing. I'm calling her Sharon. That ain't her real name, okay? So we asked Sharon if we can move in with her for at least 2 weeks, just so we can save up some money for some more hotel rooms for that next 2 weeks. So we're like, we just need to stay literally for 2 weeks and we're out of your hair. Like, literally, that was our plan. We were gonna go. We had no intentions on being there and then staying. Because the both of us, me and my younger brother, we bumped heads a lot with Sharon. None of us really had like the best relationship with her, neither of us. So we didn't really want to stay with her for that reason. Not, I love my sisters. I love all of my siblings like to the death. But some of us, it's a little bit harder for us to get along. That doesn't make me love her any less, though. Like, don't get it twisted, because you could still get twisted messing with my good sis. Don't play with it. But growing up, we didn't have the best relationship. So we didn't really want to stay with her, but we were running out of money. Just at least ask and see what she said. We did it. We asked. She said yes. We stayed for our 2 weeks. Now, for the duration of our 2 weeks, my sister is scared of dogs, so that's why we didn't really want to ask her, because our dog is really, really big. Like, he was 91 pounds when we took him to the vet to get him registered for the emotional support animal. So, and he was only 1 years old at that point. So we had a big dog with us, and she's afraid of dogs. So she reluctantly let us stay, which I owe her everything for that. You know what I'm saying? When I make it big, like, she gets it. She gets it all, whatever she wants. You know what I'm saying? Like, I owe my sister everything, because she really went out of her way to make sure we were good, make sure we had a roof over our head. Like, she really did go out of the way to make sure that we had everything that we needed, for sure. And she didn't have it. She really didn't have it to give to us. She just kind of helped us. So she offered to let us stay for at least 2 more months, or until whenever. She just needed help with bills or whatever the case may be. And we worked all of that out, and then she said that you guys can stay. So, staying with my sister, I ended up staying with her for about 1.5 years, honestly. I ended up staying with her for about 1.5 years. My brother eventually left because it was just too much for him with the dog. My sister couldn't really handle the dog. He was threatening to kick them out like every other day. So, my brother was just like, you know what? We're just gonna go. He ended up going his own way, doing his own thing, and I stayed with Sharon for about 1.5 years. So me and Sharon, like I said, we didn't grow up with the best relationship. Now I can say that we're a lot closer, like a whole lot closer. I wouldn't say we're like best friends, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel she shares her deepest, darkest secrets with me, and I know that I don't with her. But we definitely are way more open with each other, which I'm so grateful for. Like, she really is an amazing person, an amazing sister. I learned a lot from her, living with her. Like, I really cherish that time we spent together, because before that, we didn't really have a relationship because it was so rocky when we grew up. We were always fighting, and we fought a lot throughout this year and a half. Like, we did fight a lot. It was a struggle for me living with her for a little while. It was some kind of people that you just don't clash with, you just don't mesh with. That was us for a while. We just didn't really know each other as adults. We didn't have an adult relationship as siblings. So it was difficult, I would say, for both of us to live with each other for that year and a half. But I think that I can also speak for the both of us when I say that. I'm really grateful for it, and I cherish it, and I wouldn't take it back. I wouldn't take a second of it back, the good and the bad. I wouldn't take it back at all. We went through a lot, but yeah, it was worth it. But what was I going with that? So yeah, I stayed with her for about a year and a half, and then at the end it got really bad with me and my sister. For me, I don't know how it was for her. I think that it got bad for her just because she was struggling so badly with bills. And I was helping, I was paying rent, but I wasn't helping with anything else, just because she was saying that she did tell me she needed help, but she never really was like, I need this much. You know what I'm saying? We're behind on this. This is the power about to go out. I need, and when she did, she'll be asking for like $200 the same day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need $200 for the power bill. Can you get me that today? And I'm like, girl, like, I can get you $200, but I don't know if it could be today. Like, now we're finna be out of power. So it was like a lot of that living in that situation. And so it got to the final straw. I guess she wasn't working at the time. She was just doing like little gigs here and there. And I guess she fell back on her half of the rent, which is okay. Like, it happens to all of us. You know what I'm saying? She fell back on her half of the rent, and I guess was just paying my half that I was paying her, because how it worked was I would just cash out her the money and she would pay the landlord, because we had a private owner. So I'm thinking, you know, she hasn't said anything for a while at this point about struggling with money. You know, we're laughing every day. It's just like a normal day. I had no suspicion of anything. You know what I'm saying? So one day she comes to me and she's like, if you needed to move out quickly within like 2 weeks, would you be able to do that? And I'm like, what do you mean move out? Like, I mean, I got $800 rent a month, but I don't got no move out money. Like, I need to prepare to move out. I'm not prepared for that. So I'm like, I mean, I'm sure I got God, you know what I'm saying? I didn't bring up God once in this whole story time. I just wanted to give the backstory. Now that the backstory is out of the way, I kind of want to get into the God part of this now. I didn't have the best relationship with God when we first lost our first apartment. I didn't have no relationship with God. I'm not gonna lie. I had a relationship with God. I knew he existed, and I talked to him, but I didn't talk to him in the right way. I only talked to him when I needed something. I completely disregarded. Like, I always heard God's voice, and I always was able to hear that intuition, but I never listened to it for real. I was completely disobedient, completely did whatever I wanted, and it showed. The way that my life was going, it definitely showed. I wasn't doing good at all. I mean, like, at all. The people that were in my life at the time weren't good for me. I was so freaking depressed at that time in my life. Like, there was no signs of God. I know he was there because, you know, I'm alive, I'm healthy, because I wanted to off myself. You know what I'm saying? I know he was still there with me because every day was a struggle to even get out of the bed and feel like I deserved to be alive that day. You know what I'm saying? So to even be here today is insane. So I know that he was with me, but I just didn't have the relationship, or I didn't care for it. I didn't see anything better for myself. I didn't see a future for myself at that point. So I guess that's why my life was going the way it was going. It was going the way it was going. Like, I wasn't really getting into much. I was depressed, stayed in my bed. I lost pounds of weight. I looked like a freaking skeleton. I'm already skinny as hell. I literally looked like a skeleton. Like, literally, it was bad. I blamed God for everything. I was so upset with him when we lost our apartment. I literally blamed him for everything. I cursed him out. I was so angry with him. It was all his fault. I wasn't thinking about all the months I spent depressed in my bed, not working, not paying a bill. I wasn't thinking about anything and my part in it, not listening to God, being completely disobedient. Like, I wasn't thinking about none of that. It was all his fault. I hated him, and I told him that, and I regret it to this day. I feel so bad, but I know he forgives me. But I was like, I hate you. How could you do this to me? F you. Like, you don't care about me. You're just throwing me away. You know what I'm saying? None of this was true. Of course, God always had me. Just because I was speaking with him, all God wants from us is to literally just invite him in. of course, he don't want us to feel that way, but he's like, but she talking to me. You know what I'm saying? So I was angry though, and I was letting him know that I was angry, that I hated him, that I was just done with him, even though I knew I wasn't. I'm like, now if I'm done with God, that means I'm going with the devil, and I know I can't do that. But I'm just speaking out of anger right now. I was yelling at him like every day, just crying on my knees, praying for him to fix my problems. And I'm not doing anything, like nothing to help fix anything. Even when I was laying in my bed depressed, I'm just praying, God, please help me pay the rent this month. I don't know what I'm going to do for the money as I'm laying in the bed every day. Every single day. Like, I have to do my part. I had to do my part, and I wasn't. All I was doing was praying and then blamed him for everything when everything went wrong. And I wasn't talking to him when things were going good. I barely spoke to him when things were going good. He barely heard from me. I know that much. And I can be honest, like, I'm being so open with y'all right now. Like, I was horrible back in the day, like horrible. I feel really bad about it, and I've asked for forgiveness. I've forgiven myself. I cry about it still to this day, just because it's really sad the way that I treated myself and allowed people to treat me, but it's the past, it's the past. Now I'm here. Now back to where I was in the story. At this point, me and God is like this. I laid it out. I freaking laid it out. I said, I'm tired, God. And it took a lot for me to get here to even have a relationship to God. Like, throughout that year and a half that I was living with my sister, it was like, okay, I'm done. I'm giving it to God. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning, it was still rocky. I was still a little suicidal. I still had the devil, the enemy, like, playing with me. You know what I'm saying? I was still giving into it. But that's growth. Like, I started, and I'm here now to the point where me and God is best friends. Like, we're locked in. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so grateful. So grateful. But, yeah, so at the end of the day, my sister's like, do you have 2 weeks? We may have 2 weeks to go. Will you be able to do that? And she's arguing with me about it. And I'm like confused. And I'm like, why are you upset? You're bringing this to me, and I get upset. And now you're upset because I'm upset, but that's not fair to me. You know what I'm saying? Now we're arguing. Now it's another argument. And now I'm like, bro, I'm finna be homeless again, and it's not my fault. Like, I'm finna be homeless again, and it's not my fault this time. And at this point, I done figured it out with God. I started budgeting. Like, I had all my bills in order. So, but it all happened for a reason, because I would have never even had the thought to move out on my own if it weren't for this situation. So I'm grateful for everything, but let me just get through it. Me and her, we get into a big fight that night. And at this point, we've gotten into so many fights to the point where I've packed up my room like 3 times out of that year and a half. I've packed up my room like 3 times. She's kicked me out. Oh, you can get out of my house. She only said it like 1 or 2 times. But that's enough for me, for it to hurt me, and for me to not feel comfortable in someone else's home. Like, you know what I'm saying? We've been going through it at this point. Like, this was my last straw. God was working on me hard back then. Well, I was working on me with God hard back then, on my patience, on my anger. I started to meditate more again, doing my yoga. I started to find my peace at this point. So I done went through the part where, you know, I found God, and, you know, the beginning stages. At this point, I'm trying to find my peace within God, you know, not learning him anymore. Now I know God. Now I know that God knows me. I know how I like to speak to God now. I have a growing relationship with him now. Now we have that relationship to where he's teaching me how to be more like him, how to be kind, how to be graceful, how to be more patient, things like that. Okay, guys, I'm finally home. Finally in the place that I'm actually telling you guys about today. Isn't it beautiful? No furniture yet, but anyways. So, where was I? Right, so just basically I was saying how I was learning just how to walk in a life of faith and with God. Like, and I think I was saying that I'm not Christian. I'm definitely not Christian. I'm not a religious person. I'm just more spiritual than anything. I know that God is real. There's no way he's not real. I know that my angels are real. I know that my ancestors are up there as well. But I also know that there's other factors, and I feel like, and this is nothing against Christianity. I grew up Christian, so I definitely know like everything that goes in it. But I just feel that it's a little bit restricting with the beliefs. Like, I just believe that there's more to it. You know what I'm saying? I believe in all of it. So I do, you know what I'm saying? Nothing against Christians. but it's just a little bit too restricting for me and my faith. So that's why I kind of decided to worship God the way that I want to, basically. And I feel like it's all the same thing. As long as you know who God is and who he is for you, you're good. Just learning how to be more of that. So that last big fight that we got into, normally, you know, I'm packing my room up, I'm screaming back, I'm F you, blah, blah, blah. And I was doing that, I was getting into that. But God was like, stop. And so I stopped and I said, you know what, sis, Sharon, I need a second. I need a second. And I closed my room door. I just immediately started praying to God. I immediately just started talking to God, like, God, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. Like, this is it. Like, I am done. I'm frustrated. I'm tired. I'm literally giving it to you. Literally gave it to God. Like, I literally threw in the towel. Literally, and it's so scary to do that, especially when you're used to controlling everything yourself, making sure everything gets done yourself. It's like walking into wilderness when you just give it to God and you're just like, do whatever you will. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's scary. That's scary, but you just have to trust and believe that he will give you what he promised you, which is what I did. And I'm gonna keep going with this story because I will preach to y'all all day. But so yeah, I'm just praying to God. I'm just like, just talking to him as she's still yelling at me and stuff. She's not gonna, she's calmer now as well, but before she was still yelling, and then she calmed down herself and she's knocking on my door and she's like, can we talk? Because we were about to go to a family event. Like, let's at least talk before the family event. But I just couldn't. Like, I was so enraged at that point. I was just so angry. And I was just like, this is the last time I want to feel this angry. Like, I don't want to feel angry like this anymore. This is not me. I'm not an angry person. I've never felt that angry so much. Saying like, I'm not an angry person. This feels awful. You know what I'm saying? Like, make me want to cry. Like, I don't like it. Get me out of here. Again, nothing against my sister Sharon. Like, love her with everything that I have, but it was a lot for me. I'm sure it was a lot for her too. I'm sure it wasn't easy for her too, because she's not a villain at all. Like, I'm not telling the story like, oh, my sister did this, we fought, blah, blah. Like, no, like, that's not how the story, like, no. Happy endings only over here. And I never even felt like that. Well, let me just keep going with the story. I'm so sorry. I'm just going off topic. I'm just chatting with y'all. I miss y'all. But anyways, so I'm, again, talking to him, and I'm done with it. We go out. I said my piece with God, and then we go out to my family event. That night we had a family meeting because we haven't really talked in a while. And the whole time I talked, I just cried. Like, I couldn't even stop crying. Like, just because it was so much that night. I was so emotionally overwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? Not just from that night, but just from everything. Like, I was so emotionally overwhelmed. Like, now I'm like, where the F am I going to live? Do I have to move? What am I going to do? But I'm also furious. Like, you know, because we just got into an argument. It was just overwhelming. So I'm crying the whole time I'm talking. The day after that, I believe it was the day after that, I had a phone call with my mom. And I finally told her the situation that was going on with me and my sister. I let her know how she told me we may have to move soon and all of this good stuff. And at this time, so our lease was up in March already. So I was already, and we were already looking to go our separate ways then in March. So I was preparing for March. So, and I wanted to help my mom out as well, because she was going through a situation as well. So I'm like, I might as well save up and get a nice big place so that, you know, we can stay together, we can live together for a little bit, and we'll be good. My mom was like, Kalima, no, you do you. I'm gonna do me. We both gonna be good. Really, my mom is really who encouraged me to even think about going on my own. She was like, Kalima, go on your own. Like, what's holding you back? Do your own thing. Like, what's going on? Why are you trying to take care of me? Take care of everybody. Like, take care of yourself. Go on your own. Like, seriously. Her and my sister got on FaceTime with me, my other big sister, the one that ended up getting her own apartment. They're like, do your own thing. You got this. Do what you gotta do for you, because you can't keep going through this. And I'm just talking to them like, I can't keep going through this. Like, my whole life, my living situation was shaky. We were moving every year. Like, I just couldn't. I prayed to God, like, I want stability. I just need stability. I need a place where I can just be like, yes, I've lived here for 3 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, This is my home, you know? Like, I need a home. I just want a home where I can rest my head and relax and not think about nothing else. I don't want to survive. You know what I'm saying? I want to live my life. I don't want to survive anymore. It was basically my prayer to God. And so God said that. And so me and my mom had that conversation. And then the next day, I have a conversation with my sister because at this point, we were still trying to get another place together. She still wanted to get another place together. And I'm just like, no, like I didn't want to do that, but I also didn't know what other options I had. You know, my credit isn't good. And I didn't want to live in no low down, dingy apartment by myself. I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? God just kept saying, don't worry. He had it. Like, he took care of everything. So the next day I go downstairs and I have a conversation with my sister, and she's telling me about her apartment, and I'm just getting updates on like what we needed. Like, what do we need? What options do we have right now? Like, let's lay it out. We had an option to where we could pay the landlord all the back rent and stay there until March. We could have moved into the new place by the middle of the month that she found, or we could separate and go on our own and not know what the heck is going to happen. And so I at first was like, well, we were at first leaning towards the new place and staying where we were. I was set on staying where I was because I am not comfortable with change. Like, I'd be so uncomfy with change. And so I'm like, I want to stay here. Like, I don't want to go nowhere. Like, I just prayed for stability. You know what I'm saying? I finally got financially stable. I'm learning how to budget. This was I was really upset that this was happening because this was happening at a really, like, I was doing really good, but I didn't feel that I was ready to move on my own. So I was just nervous. I had that conversation, and she didn't really give me answers to where I felt comfortable. Like, yeah, okay, like we could move together. We are gonna be good. Still just wanting that stability, wanting to be on my own in the first place. So I told her in that conversation, like, I think I'm just gonna go on my own. And right from there, like, I knew from when I said that would close the door of us moving together, doing anything. I'm like nervous. I had no idea where I was gonna live. Even if I had to live in a hotel again, that's what honestly, that's what I was planning on doing. Like, if I had to go anywhere, I was gonna go. I just wanted to go on my own so I could have peace of mind and know that I'm taking care of myself and I'm in my situation because of myself. I just wanted to be accountable for me and level up from there and go on this new relationship with God, with me, and keep going up from there. That's all I wanted. I wanted a fresh start for me. Literally, this is like my selfish time in life, my special time. My whole life is gonna, like, I feel like the rest of my life, it never ends. The healing, growing with God, getting to know God, it never ends ever. You're gonna be doing it for the rest of your life, but I wanted to start fresh. I was looking at hotel rooms, I'm looking at extended stays, I'm looking at apartments, but still, like, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna get approved for anything. And then I see an address and the numbers were angel numbers. For the street numbers, they were angel numbers, and then the street name was just like one of my favorite things, which is Flowers. I can tell you at least the street name, Flowers. And I'm like, oh my gosh, not angel numbers and flowers in one address. Like, it stood out to me, immediately stood out to me. And I looked at other apartments and I had some saved. Like, I was on the hunt. Like, I had to move by the end of the month. I literally had 30 days to find a place to stay with zero credit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know. I was scared. I was crying every day. I was scared. I was nervous. But this address stands out to me. I click on it. I see it's a renovated place. It's beautiful. I'm like, damn, this is so nice. It's in a price range that I can afford. It was a little bit on like my higher end of the price range, but it was within, and I knew that I could manage it. So I'm like, I can do this, but can I get it? Like, I know that I got the money, but my credit, I'm nervous to apply because I'm getting denied for everything. I was trying to get a car before this. Before I knew I had to move, I'm trying to apply to get a car. I'm getting denied for everything. I'm nervous to go through this apartment hunt again by myself this time. Only 30 days, like, I'm scared. I'm scared. I click on the website, I just schedule a tour. God just said schedule a tour because I scheduled tours at all the other places for, like, just in case, but this one, like, he said, schedule that. Schedule a tour. When I tell you I missed all the other tours, either I overslept or I forgot about it, completely forgot about it, or whatever. But this tour, and I was really slick finna be like, I'm not gonna go, I'm not gonna get it, I'm not finna waste my time. I was finna lay in that bed and be a loser. And God said, nope, get up. I literally shot up, I got dressed. I was about to Uber over there, I ain't had the money to Uber. My brother texted me, said he got off early. I called him up, I said, bro, can you please take me to go to this tour? I was gonna Uber, but I didn't have the money for real. I know you just got off work, I'm so sorry. Can you please take me to this tour? Brother says yes. I'm like, bet, I'm in there for free. Like, what are the odds my brother gets off early that day? Just at the time that I need him to come get me to see this place, like, everything he did was just so magical. Even the way that I felt when I seen the address, it's like unexplainable. It's just like, I was like, this is it, ain't it? Like, as soon as I seen the freaking ad, I'm like, this is it. I got right up for that tour. Went to do the tour. I seen it. It was perfect. I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect. This is perfect. And then the girl was like, you like it? And I'm like, yeah, I really love this. I really do, but I'm just nervous. I immediately opened up to her. I immediately was just like, I'm just nervous because I don't have good credit. I told her exactly what was on my credit. I'm like, what are the odds? Like, be real. What are the odds of me getting approved here? Because I don't got the money. Oh, and also the apartment was having a move-in special for the application. It was only $99 and all the other ones was like $150. I'm telling her, like, I just need a fresh start. I got the money. I literally just need someone to give me a chance. That's literally the exact words I said. I just need someone to give me a chance. This is on my credit. I really love this, but I'm just nervous. And she's just like, oh, well, we don't go really fully based off credit. It's more income as well. So just apply, you never know what could happen. And I really hope to see you here next year. I remember her, like, that's not exactly how she said it, but she was so sweet. Little, like, a younger Hispanic girl, super sweet. She's just like, I really hope to see you here next year. Like, go for it, just apply, whatever. Like, God. And I prayed because I had watched this other girl's apply. At this time I was watching a lot of like testimonies and just like trying to see what God can really do. Like, that was one of the other prayers I had. Like, God, like, you want me to have so much faith? You know what I'm saying? Everybody says have faith. And this was like my first prayer. When I first told my sister that I was going out on my own, I'm like, well, before I told her, this is the conversation I had with God. I'm just like, I'm always hearing about all these miracles you do, and I'm supposed to just have faith that you just move mountains. And it's not that I don't believe in you, but I just want to see it for me. Like, I want you to do something big for me so that I can know for a fact. Like, I don't want it to just be a belief anymore. Like, I want to know for a fact how you move. I want to know for a fact what you can do. Like, in my life, I want to see it with my own eyes. You know what I'm saying? I want to touch it with my own hands. But I'm basically just like, what you got, God? Like, I'm doing all of this and all of that. Like, what you got for a sis? Not like with begging hands, like, where's my blessings? Like, no, I really was genuinely like, I want my faith to be like concrete. It wasn't concrete. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believed in him, but it wasn't concrete. I needed like stone cold evidence. And so he took up the challenge. He said, bet it up. After that tour, I went home and I was like, oh my gosh, God, like, that was perfect. Literally perfect for me. Small, it's upgraded. Perfect for me. Perfect size, everything. I get home and I'm like, okay, let me apply for this place. And I'm like, okay, cool. I start the application and I get to the end where it's time to pay, and I didn't pay for some reason. And another thing, I was completely honest on my application as well. Like, I put, like, normally people be trying to do fake pay stubs and fake income, fake all of this stuff, fake rentals. No. I did everything real. I was fully me. Fully bad credit, real income, raw, real Kalima. Me. This is me. I'm laying it out. this is what y'all are getting. I was really nervous. I've never done an application where I was just completely just, you know what I'm saying? Like I always had at least one pay stub that was a little, you know what I'm saying? But this time I was like, I'm doing this with God. I gotta be me. Like I gotta be real. God is real. God is love. God is everything. So I gotta do it as a woman of God. You know what I'm saying? I have to show up as myself. So I did that. I get to the part where it's time to pay and I'm like, a little bit of me started trying to control the situation again. I tried to get a little bit back out of God's hand and I start up another application for another apartment that I seen I didn't tour. This was the only place that I toured. This was the only place that I was able to tour. Everything else fell through. So I was still gonna put the application in for that place because it was still a good price range in an area that I liked. It looked really nice from the pictures and from like, I looked at the reviews online with the real life pictures and everything too. It looked nice. So I was like, I'll do an application for this one as well, just in case. Being me. When I tell y'all that application was not going through, like it would not work. I couldn't even get past the first page. I don't know, like the letters wouldn't type. I'm typing, the letters are backspacing. It's glitching. I can't I'm trying to figure out what to say. The application wasn't making sense to me. It wasn't asking normal questions that an application would ask. I'm like, what are y'all asking for? The application gave me a headache, like real life stress. And I'm still just trying to get through it, still just trying to get it done. And God is like, I know God was just sitting there like, oh my gosh, she's such an idiot. I know God was sitting there like, she's so slow. Because I'm still just trying to do this application through all the glitches, through everything. Nothing in me was like, girl, just stop, go to that. Until I finally was just like, girl, just stop. And do the one that God told you to do. Just do what God said. I got sick and tired of myself and I said, you know what? I have a headache now, bro. Like I'm stressed with this application. It's not freaking working. I can't even get past the first page. Let me just pay for this one at least really quick and then I'll go back to this. I go ahead. I put the application through, I pay for it, and then I go back to that, it's still not working. I said, bump it, I'll try again tomorrow. I never tried again, completely forgot about it. Completely forgot about it because I just got so fixated on this apartment. So a little bit too fixated though. Like I started to think about it all the time. Like I was trying to manifest it, you know what I'm saying? I believe in manifestation as well, but the way I was doing it was not right. Like I'm just doing too much, you know, like just doing a lot. I'm thinking about it all the time, looking at the website, the pictures of the apartment online all the time. It started taking over to the point where I couldn't hear God. All I'm thinking about is the apartment, trying to manifest. Like I'm in there. Like God said I'm in there. Like I'm in there. I'm good. I'm scared. What if it don't get approved? This is my only option right now. Blah, 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 blah. You know, just all these thoughts running through my head. I don't know what the heck I'm going to do if this doesn't go through. This is my only option. My friend Desiree, my best friend Desiree, she got me through this. Like, I was freaking on the phone crying with her like almost every day. Like, I don't know what the heck I would do without my girl. I literally don't know what I would do without her because she got me through it. Like, she kept me sane. She literally kept me sane. So I would just call her, freak out on the phone with her until she calmed me down. And then it would just be a cycle every day until God was just like, enough. Like, I stopped thinking about the apartment. I went back to my everyday life. I stopped thinking about it. I just pretended like everything was normal again. I was just overthinking it. It was stressing me. I was getting overwhelmed with the thought, and God said, stop. Like, you're doing too much. Like, I'm finna take it back. No, I'm just playing. But I was fiending, basically. Like, I was fiending. I'm like, ooh, like, I'm getting closer. I do the application. A few days go by. I don't hear anything. And then I finally, decide to call them. And then the girl who toured me, she took care of my application from the beginning to the approval process. So she took care of the whole thing, and God literally sent me her. The girl that toured me, she took care of the application process from beginning to end. Like, she was rooting for me. Like, she fought for me to get in here. I give her a call. She picks up, and she's like, yes, we got your application. We're just trying to process it. I was actually looking at the applications right now. I'll give you a call back later with an update. And I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you so much. I feel like such a bother. Like, I hate calling places. I feel like a beggar. Like, so a few more days pass by and I'm still not hearing nothing, and it's driving me insane. It's driving me crazy. I'm still looking at other apartments because I'm just like, I don't know what the heck is going on. She said she's gonna call me that day, and I don't want to be a pest and be calling them every day. It seemed like I'm fiending. Now they like, never mind, throw it away. I'm trying to stay cool, and I'm trying to stay calm and in peace with God and go on this journey with him and let him do his thing and just ride the wave and not do my Kalima thing where I grab it and then rip it up and freaking ruin everything. So one day I finally felt to call her, and she's like, oh yes, so we're about to, again, she says the same thing, we're about to process your application. I'll give you a call back later. This time she actually did give me a call back later. I missed the call, but she emailed me and I called her right back. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the call. They about to tell me I'm approved. Like, this is the freaking call. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm gonna get my call. I go into the bathroom, I call her back, and she's like, so unfortunately you were denied. I'm like, I was like, oh, okay. Like, my mind went completely blank. Completely blank. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to say. I was speechless because I'm like, God? What? Denied? I'm like, oh my gosh. I immediately got into my sad girl mode, and I'm just like, okay, thank you. And she's on the phone, and she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, she was so sweet, y'all. Like, she was so sweet. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, I have other options. I have no other options. I was looking. I was going to go on another tour. And, like, I have other options. I have other tours to go on. So I'll be fine. I know I'll be fine. I'm just a little disappointed. That's all. But I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Blah, blah, blah. So we hung up the call after that. And she's just like, okay, well, just let me know if you need anything. I'm so sorry. Blah, blah, blah. And let me know. And I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you. Hang up the call. And I'm just like, free. Like. But something wasn't sitting right with me. I'm like, bruh, I'm finna call her back. I'm finna call this lady back. Like, you can't just tell me I'm denied. That ain't right. God said this was for me. So we need to figure out another way to get this, how to get me this approval. I called my good sis right back. So I called back and somebody else picked up the phone. So I got thrown off. I was like, is my good sis there? I was like, let me give her a name. Is Sophia there? She's like, oh yeah, she's still here, but she is working with the customers. Anything that I can do to help you? And I'm like, I didn't really feel like getting into the whole, background story, the tour. She said this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just wanted to work with my girl because she knew my situation. I'm just like, never mind, bye. And I was still gonna give up. I was like, at least I called back like God said. Because God put it in my heart to call back. And I said, at least I called back. But my good sis called me right back. I mean, like, as soon as I hung up the phone, I was getting another call like 2 minutes later. She called me back. She called me back. Even after I said, never mind, I don't need anything. She still called me back. And she was like, hey, Kalima, did you need anything? And I was like, oh, I told the other lady I don't need nothing. But since you called back, like, thank you so much for calling me back in the first place. Like, that touched my heart, like, for real. That really did. That's when I really knew she was rooting for me. This phone call is how I knew she was rooting for me, when she called me back. Like, I was like, I love her. Like, I don't even know my good sis, but I got love for her, for sure. So I'm like, well, was there anyone that I could talk to? Maybe a manager that I could explain my situation to more? Maybe we can figure out something. Maybe I could put down more money, give more deposits so y'all can, be more secure with me. Like, money talks, so I'm offering more money. Like, I'll put it up what you need. Give me, like, can I do payments? No, I'm just playing. But let me know what you need. Like, I'll see if I can do it. I will get it because God promised me this. Me and God gonna get this. Let us know what you need, and we gonna get it. So she was just like, yes, like, when I was telling you on the phone, I told my manager about your situation in particular, and she gave me this program to send to you to apply to. And she said that if they approve you, you got an approval. I'm like, oh, so I do have another shot. another shot. She emails me the program right on over. I open up my email, and I'm still at work during all of this. I open up my email and I start the application for this program while I'm at work. I mean, like working, doing my application, making sure, still focusing, making sure I'm putting in everything right, still making sure I'm doing everything at work. Like, I'm getting it all done. I'm getting it done. I didn't finish the application at work. I go home, I look over the application, I finally finish it, and I submit it. So I'm nervous as heck. They're saying like, oh, it could take like, you know, a week to get your response, a few days, the 5 to 7 business days, the normal business hours. So I'm like, damn, like I need to know before the 5 days, because I need to know if I have somewhere I need to go or if I need to go having other options, like, you know what I'm saying? Which I did have other options, but I need to know before 5 days. I'm like, dang. So I'm like, okay, God said he got this. Let me not panic. Let me relax. Boom, whatever. Why do I check my email 30 minutes after, like a good 30 minutes, an hour or so after I submit my application, and it's already approved? Wow, sorry. This part always made me cry. Each time I recorded this video, I always cried at this part. I'm like, girl, can you get it together? But when I tell you that thing was approved in less than 30 minutes, like, I started freaking out. In my room. I was jumping. I was crying. I was so happy. I was boo-hooing, y'all. Like, I was playing. No, I ain't playing. I was boo-hooing. I was so happy. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh. Because I know that approval meant I was approved there. So, oh my gosh, I was so happy. Oh my God, it was so beautiful. Such a beautiful moment for me. Such a beautiful moment. So a few days go by, and I had to pay the program money in order to secure it. So I basically like had to pay the program my security deposit and a little bit extra, and they would like basically secure to the apartments. Like if she ever falls behind on rent, we'll cover it, and she'll have to pay us. And so the program is basically like the middleman, like that made the apartment comfortable with approving me with my, you know, with the credit. The girl said that the only thing that was a problem on my application was the thing that was on my credit that I spoke with her about before. She said that ultimately was the reason that they couldn't approve me directly, but the program was able to approve me, and I got my approval through them. So I paid them the money. It actually took a few days. I was actually still nervous a little bit. I still was a little bit hesitant because it took a few days for them to tell me how much I owe. Like, I'm like, so they approved me, but I haven't heard anything else for a few days. Like, how much money do I need to pay for the apartment to tell them how much the rent was, how much the security deposit was supposed to be, and all that good stuff. So I'm like, bro, did the apartment change their mind? Do they not want to use the program? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm emailing, and then I'm letting a few days go by because, again, I didn't want to be bothering them, you know, like pestering them. And then my girl ended up reaching out to me one day, like within the waiting frame where I'm like, okay, what's a good time to call? She ended up reaching out to me, and she was like, yes, I see you did the program, but we just need you to pay the program, and we'll get your approval. We'll get you your lease to sign and everything. Still feels so, you know, crazy to even be saying all of that, but I'm like, they're actually waiting on you guys to confirm the lease details and everything, so that they can tell me how much I owe them to pay. I'm ready to pay. I just need you guys to basically just do your part and let them know what you guys need. I wanted to make sure they knew like what they needed to do so that I could get in there. Oh my gosh, let's see. Don't the red birds represent something? Hold on. Hold up. You guys, most beautiful thing just happened. A red bird just landed on my tree. I don't know if it was a red robin or what do they call this one? A cardinal, a red robin or a cardinal, but I looked up both meanings just in case, and both of them mean amazing things, and that was just beautiful as I'm telling this story to you guys. Like, the way my angels always show me angel numbers and always show me good signs. Anyways, let me finish the story. So I didn't hear back, but I didn't hear back that day, but I heard back from the program the next day that they're ready for the money. They told me how much I needed to pay. The apartments did their thing. Boom, I'm in there. I paid them their money. I was prepared. I had everything in my savings. I paid the money to the program. Next thing I know, the next day, I get my official approval letter for my beautiful place. And I got my lease, and I signed the lease, and I was just on cloud nine. I was on cloud nine. They gave me my move-in date. I had the lowest security deposit because even though I did have to pay them the money, the program the money, I still did have to pay the apartment the security deposit as well. But my girl hooked me up and she got me approved with the lowest security deposit that they could take, obviously because I had to pay all the money to the program as well. But I paid my little money. So when I first got my approval, she was like, oh, you have 24 hours to pay your $250 security deposit. I'm like, dang, I just paid the program. And I'm like, dang, like I just paid that. But then I had got like a random amount of money. It was like sick pay from last year, like the year before they paid like whatever you don't use in sick pay, they give you that money. They pay you that money in a payout. And I was supposed to have been got my payout, which I didn't know, but I had got it late. Just in time, like literally just in time to have it for my security deposit because I only had 24 hours to get it. And I wasn't going to have it if that money didn't just randomly show up in my bank account that day. The way God works everything out, just when you think you don't got it, he said, got it covered. Got it freaking covered. Whoo. I mean, when that money hit, I didn't know that I had to pay the $250 security deposit yet. So I'm like, oh, bet. That's an early jump start for my, that's an early jump start for my apartment, whatever. I put it straight to the savings. But because I didn't know that I was going to have to pay them the security deposit since I paid the program. I'm like, dang, an extra $250 security deposit on top of it. But I was going to pay it. I was going to get up in here. I didn't care. But God got me the money within my 24 hours. The date came, I moved in about 3 weeks later after that. And oh my God, that 3 weeks was excruciating. Waiting for my 3 weeks to get into my home, I'm like, oh, I can't wait. Every day I'm just like, oh my God, I can't wait. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that when I get in there. And I can't wait to do this and I can't wait to do that. Oh my God, I could not wait for the 3 weeks. I was so excited. Getting stuff for my place, packing up. It was so fun. It was just an amazing experience getting this place. The way God blessed me. This is like a perfect gift from him, and I don't take it for granted at all. Like, I knew that once I got in here, I had to hit the ground running, and I had to continue to stay focused and just be on my business for real now. Do what I prayed to get in here to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, why did you want this place? Now do it. I gave you this. Now it's time for me to show God what I got. Now I got to show him what I got. So I'm excited to see where we take it. I'm so excited to be finally partnering up with God in my life instead of trying to do it all on my own. Now I know I don't have to do it on my own. I'm never alone. Like, God is always there. I barely ever get afraid anymore. And even when I do, I know that I have the comfort of God. Dude, give your life to God. Like, give it to him. Lay it all out. Your fears, your worries, what you hate about yourself, what you hate about the world, what you love about yourself, what you love about the world. What makes you angry, what makes you sad. Let him know everything. Like, give it all to him because he already knows anyways. Like, he already knows. Even when you try to hide the nastiest, darkest thoughts, the nastiest bits of yourself, he knows already. You don't have to hide anything with him. He wants you to give it all to him. So open up, be vulnerable. It's scary. It is scary even opening up to yourself, to me, even to let them thoughts flow freely, the ones that you keep tucked away, the ones that scare you, the ones that make you feel hurt. When you just let it out and you cry it out and you feel the anger and you feel the sadness and you feel the frustration and you allow yourself to go through the actual emotions instead of putting it down, and you give it to God and you allow him to just cleanse you, girl, everything is going to change. And it's a daily thing. Every day I have to wake up and choose to walk with God. Every day I have to wake up and choose to be happy and choose peace and choose grace and choose forgiveness like God does. I don't understand everything fully about God. I'm still learning and growing in this relationship with him, and so far I'm loving everything that I've learned. I've learned that he's peace, he is love, but that does not mean that he got walked all over on. You know what I'm saying? Like, he stood his ground. He said what he said and he meant it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is him and he knew it. Walk in your faith, walk with God, walk in who you are. Confidently, positively, happily, joyfully. However you want, sadly. If you want to be sad, be sad. God wants you to be whatever you want, as long as you're good. As long as you are good, and as long as you love God, and as long as you come to him and know that you are his child and live in his grace, you're good. You're free. You are free with God. You're free. Literally live like you're free. And I'm trying to take my own advice as I'm speaking. This is something that he's taught me and he's teaching me currently. He's taught me so much, and I would love to share more of it with you guys, but I do not want to make this video too long, but I definitely will be back to talk more about God with you guys. I definitely will be, to share what I've learned so far with y'all. And hopefully it helps somebody. It's not much, but hopefully it helps somebody who's starting with me or starting freshly started. You know what I'm saying? It's tough, but hopefully this video helped you a little bit, because I was once I was a doubter. I was hesitant about God and the miracles. I wasn't too sure. I had a lot of questions. He showed me who he is with this apartment testimony, and he continues to show me after I got in here. He has taken care of everything that I've needed. Everything from food to my utility bills, everything that I've needed up, like, he is taking care of me, and I couldn't ask for a better father. I really couldn't. I couldn't ask for a better apartment. Like, so cute in here. I love it. But let me go ahead and end this video. This was so fun today. I had so much fun making this video for y'all. Like, probably why this video is about to be so long, and I'll be so mad when I'm editing, but I'm finally done. I'm done. I'm throwing it away. I love you guys. Have an amazing night. Have an amazing evening. Have an amazing morning. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing evening, whatever time this video reaches you. Remember that you are amazing. You are loved so freaking much. You are super loved. Good night.